I'm gonna start the world, and while it's loading, I'm gonna show some screenshots. So I've started building on the planet's surface, and I've also started expanding the drill to allow me to drill some rock, since I was running out of iron, actually. And while I was doing that, as seen here, the drill broke while retreating it and, you know, starting to expand the length of it, as seen in this screenshot. I fixed that. It took a lot of work, more than it should have, because hinges are not working properly. And, when I finally had it on, I extended it again. I drilled some more. I retracted the piston again, and it exploded again. Like, here's my working on trying to get it to work, and, it barely working. This somehow did work. I had to actually use a physics gun mod to properly position this, because when I tried recording, I had to restart Space Engineers, and when I loaded, this plate disconnected completely. Anyways, I am now back in the game, and it had just exploded again while retracting. And I've decided, you know what? Not doing this in gravity again. Not doing this again. And so I'm about to just take off. Now you see, I'm once again gonna complain about this. Game developers. All game developers. Indie, AAA, quadruple A, whatever many A's you wanna add just for some marketing. If your game is not turn-based, the first thing that should happen always after every single loading screen is either the game is completely 100% finished loading. So there's the piston right here. Or it should be paused. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly fly back. Oof. And turn that off. So, turn that off. Turn that off. Now, a quick tour around my ship, since it hasn't been on stream in a fixed state yet. I've built these specifically as just engine segments I can plop onto any ship. As you can see, it obviously wasn't made for this. I've just attached them and connected them, and that's that system. They've got internal personal tanks. They even have some storage, since you can never really have enough for that. And the ship itself, it's one of those, constant work in progresses that honestly should just get rebuilt completely, but didn't. And here's the, the cockpit area. Here's my temporary cockpit, and here's the main one. And now, engine. Turn those on. Not going to be using the iron ones. Okay, then. Now I'm confused. Oh, I believe that's because they are not connected to the same group. That's why. Like, that deactivates the specific group of connections. But, yeah. That was super odd. Okay. I'm gonna keep it a constant 100 meters per second speed about. Give or take a little. Losing planetary gravity. That's a good trend. Gaining speed despite losing atmospheric thruster power. That's also good. Guess I'm gonna need to redesign the drill system again. From scratch. Again. And who knows what that's gonna land on. For all I know, that's gonna start a war with somebody. Okay. Oh man. Still, of course, in the middle of planetary gravity, so, since I've now slowed down a bunch, I'm gonna need angle and all that to get the full thrust. I'm just gonna hold until I'm out now. Yeah. I've also again installed a mod which weakens the powers of dampness, inertial dampness, meaning I now have to deal with that a little bit when I'm on planets. It's not the same one as the last time, which completely disabled inertial dampening. This time it's a little bit more specific to planets, and it doesn't disable the dampening, it only weakens its effectiveness. You can't just park something in the air if you have enough solar panels and batteries and atmospheric thrusters. You're gonna have to actually deal with it slowly drifting. And same with drivers, which I'm actually gonna maybe look into disabling because I like drivers being more solid. Once I'm outside, I'm gonna add a bunch of hydrogen thrusters, like up, down, left, right, just so I can have more back thrust. Okay. I think the drills just landed. I'm getting slowdowns. Significant ones. About 300 meters per second should probably get me out at this stage. I should also be careful to not ram into any rocks. It could actually be an interesting challenge to be in one of these semi-atmospheric rocks. Since they are static, they will never quite fall, but they are just deep enough in the atmosphere that you can probably leach some hydrogen if you have that mod, and oxygen, just in general. Which could be interesting. Like not being in total zero gravity and all that. Okay. I'm gonna wait a few seconds. because I don't want to leave this up to chances, but the distance that's gonna be having issues, you know, if I'm too close to the gravity. Now it's time for modifications. These slopes. Whoops. No time for modifications. Instead, defense. Well, these are all in the build and repair system. I know this smaller ship you have. Had. What? Okay. Plan B. If I'm fast, I can't be hit by rocks. Also gonna turn to be more profile. Could try hiding behind some asteroids, but I'm not sure if I can make it. It may, I may have evaded already. Not sure. I don't remember if it tells you when it's over. If it doesn't, then it could still be happening. Let's try going for full shadow. You know what, that's probably it dealt with already. I was gonna say, it's probably not a problem anymore. My thoughts kind of wandered around. Once again, thinking about gameplay and difficulty and all that. You know what I really dislike, among many other things, is when there's a trick to defeating an enemy that can be used, or like dealing with some kind of bad situation, like in Space Engineers, you can basically make yourself completely invisible by simply having a physical shell of just armor blocks surrounding your actual ship, not directly connected to it in any way. Because enemy turrets and some enemies only target directly visible parts like thrusters and turrets and all of that. And you could basically use a shell of armor blocks to hide your entire existence from those. And really serious definitely fun having players will probably say like, man, that's a cheesy exploit that should get fixed. And if I know, leave it be. Keep the cheese. In fact, maybe add some more cheese. Because a really serious player of the game can always choose to up the difficulty by simply not doing that. But an unserious player, somebody who's just playing for fun and sometimes even completely disables enemy contacts at all. Yeah, I don't have the option to just get good. Not because I cannot get good, but because I don't have fun with the kind of gameplay that would require me to get good. It's like, let's say there's a hard to eat dish. A really difficult kind of snail. You really gotta get in there to get it all out. And you hate the taste. And for some reason, a restaurant's now saying every restaurant should carry only those kinds of dishes. And you say, man, I can't eat those. I'm gonna starve because I don't know how to eat those. And they will say, well, you can just learn how to eat those. Well, part two is I don't like eating those. So why should I learn how to eat those? Why should eating those be required for me to eat at all? Don't make it a requirement to learn how to eat those. To enjoy the game. To enjoy the food, that kind of thing. It's really easy to say that kind of thing is a skill issue. I'm saying it's an issue of not understanding the audience. And the audience is not speedrunners. The audience contains speedrunners. The audience is not experts. The audience contains experts. You can cater to those without throwing out all of the other options, all of the other people in the audience who are not those things. And if you can't, well, don't name it a sandbox game. Don't say it's a sandbox. Say it's a speedrunning game. Say it's an expert game. Then people like me can avoid the game. But if you say it's a sandbox game, and you require me to learn to get familiar and good at a type of combat, which I don't like doing, and you say that's a sandbox game, and I'm gonna get annoyed, because I came here to play in the sand, not to learn how to kick people out of the sandbox, digital or not. Okay. Let's not slowly drift into the planet's atmosphere. Okay. Now. I recently got another DLC, so I got some more options here. I think I'm gonna be using this. And I think I want this to be about here. Hmm. Just noticed T was on for some reason. Who would ever do such a thing? And I think the plan is now quite visible. I want to add 3 on each of these. Just for that much of a boost in speed when I'm actually trying to get off a planet. I'm gonna deal with the cabling. I mean, conveyor belts, conveyor pipes later. First, I just want to place them. And then see about maybe aligning them to the armor in some way. Okay. Okay. I think I may have made a mistake somewhere. Did I place these exactly one off on the other side, maybe? Talking about the atmospheric crystals. It appears that I have. Okay. Well, that's gonna be annoying to fix. Possible, but annoying. Especially with the mod, which makes inertial dampening weaker. Oops. Oh well. Okay. Now let's take a look. The connection. Would I be able to not comfortably? Mm, What if I use these? Yeah, that seems good. That seems pretty alright. That looks good. It's going well. One more. For a second there, I thought this one was in line with this and would have destroyed that at some point. But no, that's just a trick of the eye. Now, I'm gonna wanna destroy these. Because they are way too far out. And out of sight of the situation in which I was previously, which is, you know, on a planet where I can't really just take off and re-angle my ship, meaning I would need much more length. More than 2 is really not needed, and obviously, I've seen an exit breaks the ship constantly. Great. Yeah, that's all that it. Okay. Now, one thing I did, which I'm not gonna repeat now, is I had rotor on the front. I'm gonna say no to that. That it is. Oh, okay. 5 on 1, 5 on 1. Okay. That should do. I'm gonna attach to this at around the direction where that iron is. Is this not listed as a tool? What are those? At the side there, they're not spotlights. There's some kind of light. Can't make out from here what kind of light, though. Flood light. Okay. Got to make contact. Perfect. Now, all I need is to find out why the drawers are not being built. It does seem to be doing something. the big iron. That could be annoying, considering I don't have any turrets armed right now. I also just noticed why the magnet unlocking earlier didn't work at all. It's because the thing I've got on my dashboard here are exclusively the magnet plates for the front of the ship, not the bottom. I don't like when the thing is changing directions. At all. Maybe I should go dark. At that angle, it's definitely gonna come within like 6 kilometers or less. I'm not too sure what the aggro range for them is. Let's relocate. The one thing I've got going for me right now is my speed. And there's enough rocks around for all of us, so I'm gonna choose a different one. Oops, I'm sorry. I just want to get myself something to drink while I'm slowing down. Back. Let's see. Just gonna hold turn button. Going down. So the difference in speeds doesn't make me crash into those rocks, even though I should slide right past them. I'm out of ice. Starting to use actual hydrogen in the tanks now. I should have me on course. Now at about 7 meters per second. It's gonna be my approach. I'm gonna stop slowing down at now, 19. Good nickel. Silicon. Not really the best for what I want to do right now, which is among other things fixing all my jump drives. But also not the worst. Nickel I think can be used for some things I'd like right now. I were to keep an approach at 7 meters per second, at this rate, the drills should all be done by the time I'm there. Unless I've misjudged the LDs here. It appears I have. Yep. That's connected. Let's check on the production. Ooh. I'm probably gonna be missing a lot of these. That's generally what's missing. Yeah. Okay. And I should already have used enough. There we go. Now, that's good. There was something I wanted to... Yes, algae. I want to make sure that I can actually feed myself. Interesting. What I'm looking for is this insect planter. Okay. Decoration, you'd say. That appears to be correct. Okay. Cool. Why? Oh, okay, so that's the DLC blocks. What about the expansion blocks, all the survival blocks from the expansion itself, not the DLC. Yeah. Sure looks like that's the only option. Okay.
Inventory full.
Oh, that's still been running. Okay. That ping off on my side. What would be a good place? It can't really only be here, right? Does it work from under Windows? If it's so, probably. I've got an idea.
Inventory full.
Already got cabin done. I'm just gonna be making that part of the design.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Don't have interior plates. Okay. The way I'm using is one of these days, Build and Repair is gonna repair my cranium with solid lead block, just to stop me from disassembling what it's building all the time. Clearly not out of malice, just because, you know, obstacles have to be removed or whatever. Classic AI conundrum. Do I do what my owner wants me to do or what I was told to do? Now, unless this block for some reason only has a single sensor, which is at the middle of it, where there's zero LG, this should be optimal placement. Oh, not optimal, but visually great placement. I will first check right here. Oh, let's check with the surfaces here. That's not quite this. All of these are equal. So let's getting some shadow. This is this. Yeah, okay. I can see this being an issue. Okay. Yeah, looks fine to me then. That in quantity is more than enough RG farming for me. I will of course want to make it on the other side. But for now I just want to make sure that I'm actually getting, you know, that this is working. Not looking like it's gonna explode in the next few minutes. All that good stuff. I'm also gonna check on what the ping was earlier. Hmm. I have for now muted that. It was a good pose, it's just getting this spot pinged midstream is not really great. Yeah, that's looking good. Food is being made. Food is being made. Oof. Still got plenty to go. That's also, since I've still got a bunch of cobalt here, that's gonna take a while. But, let's see. Yeah, not looking like I'm gonna get full anytime soon, but, yeah. Oh, actually, that could get dicey. Also, apparently not actually out of hydrogen, out of ice. It's just been used up faster than I made it. I used it. I mean, converted it into hydrogen. Hmm. The weight of the ship seems to be in equilibrium somehow, despite the constant cargo changes. Not too sure what that's about. Maybe it's actually not counting cargo in that screen and that's just glitching. Oh, this is happening. Right, now I wanted to turn one of my ships into an planetary operating base of sorts. I'm thinking this one. Hmm. I could finally expand this back area into a proper hangar like I wanted for a while now. Let's try going with that. Doing a basic outline to make sure I have space to build some smaller ships. Would be a miracle if this actually fit now, but no.
Inventory full.
Of course, this was built instantly, although all the other blocks it takes its time with. Oh, so have fun picking all of this iron plate stuff again. I'm thinking I will be using these as the bottom. And then build as high as they allow. And if I remember correctly, this is flipped.
Inventory full. In Inventory full.
How am I gonna deal with that? Like, with it basically needing okay, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. Hello, hello. I'm thinking I will be sloping up here. That's a bit harsh. Which do I want? Okay. Thinking bronze. Need to take a quick radiation break as well. Okay. Next. Like that. Look out again, it's gas building. What else of this? But it's something kinda neat. This on the planet. Yeah, something really annoying that I've noticed a lot. Manga or other kind of story gets a movie deal or a series deal or show, you know, it's being made. Maybe even has a season or two made. And while that's happening, the manga itself or other kind of story completely stops being made. Like the original story, the format in which it's been made, completely ceases being made. And I'm getting the feeling that in a bunch of these cases, the reason the main story stops being made is that there's a contract and somebody said, man, if people can read more of the story somewhere else, they're not gonna want to watch our movie. So you gotta stop making that other format right now. Until we've made the movie or show. And then they just don't. And they sit on it. And you know, the creator gets a bunch of money, I guess. But, you know, the story fucking dies. Because, you know, it's not being told anymore. It's over. Often, you know, mid-cliffhanger, suddenly it stops and they get a bunch of ads like, hey, look, we've got an anime deal. Oh, cool. Hey, when's the next chapter? It's gonna be maybe. Safe to say, as somebody who stopped watching anime in favor of instead reading manga, because then I get more of the story. And less cliffhangers and less fillers. I don't like that. Oh look, you've got your first season which got really well animated and your second season which kinda dropped the ball on some scenes, and then the third season it's gonna you know, we've split it up into 5 parts. And actually, you know, maybe we may have outsourced with animating to some little sweatshop somewhere. Maybe somebody found out about that and oh look, we've got like 2 parts made. And the second part it's only keyframes, so mm, uh, it's on a hiatus. And you know, well, sucks. That just sucks. I'd like a story instead, please. We can either make it or drop all those contracts that bind the creator to not make more of it. If you fail to make it, you know, that shouldn't be their fault and not the fans' fault. Like, they shouldn't suffer for your inability to make a finished product. Gonna need a connection via conveyor belts. If it's gonna be a hangar of some kind. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put in here. Something round. I did get a bunch of more all of the DLCs that are currently out, so where's this? Yeah. A barrel? Nope. Something more permanent, but sci-fi looking. Heavy industries. Nope. No. Sparks? No sparks. Warfare. Anything new on these? Could maybe add a reactor. What do I have in terms of reactor? Yeah. Fieldworks, that's the one of the new ones, I think. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. We surround the corridors. Cargo terminals. Okay. I remember this mod. Floor decals, stuff like that. Floor center, I see, I see. Uh, no, that's only the small ones. Pipes. Pipes would be good. Not only along like larger walls. Core systems, that's another one. Oh, gosh. Okay. Jump drive type 2. What is this made? Oh, it's made from fancy. And there's an involved catwalk. Yeah, I'm thinking that is probably it. Space pirates. Guess we forgot about my lack of ammo. That's definitely getting closer. It's a good angle. It's not at a distance I'm comfortable with. So, um, nope. Nothing to see here. I'm at it. I may as well analyze some of the rocks and nearby. Turn off inertial dampening, so I'm not gonna be causing any issues by looking around like this. And we've got ice. We've got cobalt. We've got stone, obviously. It's not gonna be too interesting for me. Next one. Looks like ice. Again. Okay, we've got nickel and magnesium. Magnesium what I need? Magnesium's what I need. not crash.
Meteor storm inbound.
Oh, fun. For a second there, I thought I was getting into the shadow or something, but it's just the shadow of my own ship. So I'm gonna have to hide myself behind that rock again. Actually, it appears that the storm is already basically passed. Yeah, okay. So that warning is not as early as I thought it was. Interesting. Doesn't look like I've got any damage. You know what would be fun? If I was able to use the cryo chambers to actually sleep through segments of time. To be able to load events like meteor storms and all that, you know, have that loaded and processed as if I was there, and then just speed up time. Because if there's any game which couldn't handle that kind of processing, it's Space Engineers. But it does sound fun, I think. Oh yes, by the way, I was entirely unsuccessful in finding something royalty-free music-wise on the Internet Archive. I found a bunch of unrelated things, but nothing I am secure in playing on stream or would even want to listen to on stream. I was hoping I could maybe find some kind of archive of some kind of band or something which doesn't care about copyright or something like that. Or rather cares about it, just not in a way that makes copyright claiming random live streams any sense. The opposite of lift off. Lift off. Uh, Still got a bunch of stone in here, so I may be running into problems with that. Now, that should be good. Right. Construction components. 7, -7. Oh man, that's intense. There's always construction components that are missing. Ah. Ah. Yeah. Now begins the finding of the correct way to connect these. How do I do that best? Mm, mm. I want to connect this all the way to the bottom. I absolutely do not want to use something. Maybe I can find a quarter panel. Center panel. Okay. Quarter panel. Okay. That should about do it. I'm never gonna be using these stairs, by the way. No chance. But they exist now. And they mostly make sense. I'm gonna need to play something else down here, like some pillar-like thing. I think I feel work here. No. First branch? No. Heavy industries? Maybe. No. Signal? Kind of. No. Sparks? No. Bit of. No. Man, oh, I needed these books a little while ago. Um. Hmm. And all of these. All of these. All of this. Left reactor stats on that. Or something. To that extent. This is gonna be Let's check on the medium drilling. Still quite a bit away. But I'm actually not quite sure if it can even reach that far. Maybe. Maybe. No, at 200? No, I don't think it's gonna reach that far. Anyways. It's been 2 hours. I'm starting to get a little tired. I'm gonna call it a day. Yeah. That's gonna be it for today, I think. See you.